Hi everybody, this is Amy Frostek with J&A Racing, and we are here today to discuss our newest virtual race, the Champagne Gang 5K, which is to benefit Leukemia Lymphoma Society and Team in Training. So I have we have a lot of charities that are involved with our races, but this one is, and I said I'm not going to cry, so I'm not going to cry, is near and dear to our heart because our employee, Josh Wade, has had experience with this disease and cancer, and we kind of wanted to go through what he's gone through and why we're such supporters of the charity and huge fans of Josh Wade. So, Josh, welcome.
Thank you.
Cheers to you.
Thank you.
Who's going to drink?
If you have to.
Yes. So, Josh, you were diagnosed in 2008 with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Yes, you got
and
it.
I did it. And tell us a little bit about that experience and what went through your life at that time.
So I've been married maybe just over a year, and I hadn't been feeling that well. In fact, if I remember right, it's kind of funny. I thought I had like a groin injury from yoga, and through multiple doctors and visits and scans, they found localized stage 1 lymphoma, which if there's a best case, that would be best case. But it happened really fast, and the diagnosis and right into treatment, so there wasn't much thought behind it. It was going to treatment and this is what we're going to do, which in a way was kind of helpful because we knew there was a plan of action.
At the same time, very scary, the days you had to wait for results.
Very. And
diagnosis.
We got the results the day after Christmas, and I remember we went to my parents to visit them for Christmas, and I mean, how do you celebrate Christmas when that's all you're thinking of? And if you know me, Christmas is my favorite. Still is, but that was very difficult. So, and I remember everything, like we got the call, everybody acted differently. My wife, if you know Shannon, she's amazing. She went right to the computer and was like, I'm gonna figure out how we're gonna beat this. My mom was really upset, my dad was mad. It was like all the emotions that day, and I was like, I don't even know. You just don't know what it is. So.
And I didn't know much time, but I would have been a crier. So, so you obviously beat cancer's ass, and you did it, of course, with as distinguished as you are, just as a fighter and with your family behind you. What was your relationship with the Leukemia Lymphoma Society and getting to this point in your life and running?
So kind of partway through the treatment process, I mean, you try to get as much information as possible, and I found Leukemia Lymphoma Society through the treatment, through my treatment center, and they had tons of support groups and info for you, and through that I kind of stumbled into Team in Training, which is an endurance sport fundraising program for Leukemia Lymphoma Society. And I had never run before at any level, and when I decided to kind of start running, it didn't start as running. It started as simple as getting out of bed and walking to my front door and back. And the treatments hit me so hard, that's as much as I could do all day long. And my wife, again, amazing, who's maybe 100 pounds, was the one who had to pull me up out of bed and walk me to the front door and walk me back. And that's started with steps, literally. But what Team in Training does is those folks who run the events, they fundraise for Leukemia Lymphoma Society, who, in my case, the research back in the early to late 90s found a drug that was revolutionary for my type. So if I were diagnosed maybe 10 years sooner, it wouldn't have been a great diagnosis.
Right.
But because of those funds going in and finding that almost like a miracle drug that actually takes your body's immune system and helps fight the cancer, who knows? But I mean, that practically over doubled my chances of surviving past 5 years.
Right, and the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, they have been around since the 1940s, and they've donated over $1.3 billion in research for blood cancers. So
yeah, they're huge into research, which that's where we're going to find the cure.
Right,
from the research.
Exactly. So, Josh, I know a lot of people. You greet a lot of people at our finish lines at JNA. So he's always at our finish line with medals and celebrating everybody.
It's the best
at the
part.
Finish.
The finish line.
Yes. And Josh also is the great designer who designs all of our awesome apparel and medals and everything that goes with our races. But Josh is quite a distinguished marathoner himself. So you don't know this thing about Josh, but he has finished how many marathons?
6 marathons.
6 marathons.
Yeah.
And many ultras.
5 ultra marathons.
5 ultra marathons. And then I'm sure countless half marathons. Those are just little things for you.
I have run 50 miles before.
50 miles. Wow. Yeah, so Josh is quite the athlete as well. We have a fan in the background, Mabel, who loves his daddy, and she's looking over the table now at him.
Thank you.
This is Josh's pride and joy, Mabel, Miss Mabel. So she's always your biggest fan.
Yes, she is.
As well. So, well, Josh, thank you for taking the time and kind of explaining this. We are so happy to have you here and survive.
I'm happy to be here.
And and we're
13 years going strong.
Yeah, exactly. Cancer free.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. One
Thank
more
you.
cheers to that.
Cheers to that.